Okay. Okay, there's the iPad. We can zoom in just a little bit. All right, here everyone comes. Hello again. I was on earlier today, so if you were there, hello again. If you weren't, hello for the first time today. I actually had to close the blinds in my room here because the sun was shining in so bright, it was messing up the lighting. The sun! I can't even believe it. When's the last time we saw that? Oh, sorry, I'm just reading a message on my computer. All right, I'm just going to give everyone just a few minutes to find this video and tune in. I don't want to give away too many secrets yet. I know some people will tune in afterwards and watch on replay, and if you're doing that, welcome too. This is usually the time of the day where if I'm in the kitchen, I have my phone propped up on the windowsill and I'm watching some video of some kind while I'm prepping dinner or doing dishes or something. It seems to follow me everywhere now. Are you guys just hanging out or are you doing something while watching? I've watched a few videos today while I was working and prepping things. Hello, Leah. I seem to watch more videos now than I watch TV or movies or anything. It's always about the crafting videos and the product launches and all the fun things. Okay. Well, any guesses to what we might be doing today? We have a new series that is launching. Prepping veggies soon, yeah. So I'll have to take me to the kitchen. I don't mind being in your kitchen. I'm sure I'm in a lot of people's rooms in their houses. I know I've been in bed with your husbands too. I've had people tell me that they've taken me to bed with them. Yep. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that about me, Shelby. Okay, so yes, people are saying calendars. Well, yep, here we are. We've got calendars. So we have, I don't know how long we've been doing calendar layouts. Many, many, many years. I've had this idea brewing in my brain for a while now, but it just hasn't been the right time to launch it. But it's the right time. It's a new year, 2023. We've gone through a tremendous amount of change over the last three years or so. And we've had to pivot so many times. And this is a good pivot, I think. So, like I said, we've had calendar kits for many, many years. Amanda has been designing those and she's done a wonderful job. But like everything else in our store, things need to evolve and change. We have been in business for 20 years, which we are very proud of. And I like to think we kind of know what we're doing if we've lasted that long. And our customers certainly seem to enjoy all the things that we are doing. So that's all a good thing. The one thing that we have had to make some huge adjustments to are our kits. And I know for some of you, you've been missing the kits the way they used to be, where we would come out with several each month and you would purchase a package and it had everything that you needed in there. But unfortunately, for many, many reasons, we are not able to make those kits the same way anymore. So we have kind of been flipping and flopping around a little bit to see what is working well. And I will say we get a tremendous response when we do bundles, and then we follow it up with a live of some kind where we create a layout or give you inspiration for those bundles. So you will be seeing a lot more of that. Amanda is just working on a couple of them right now. And again, those have given us the inspiration, well, part of the inspiration for this calendar adventure. So I am taking this project on myself, which is rather scary because my to-do list is very long all the time. And I feel pretty passionate about this, and I want to be involved, and I need a creative outlet as well. So I've decided I'm going to do this, and I have done January and February, and I've shared it with the girls, and they are all very excited about it. So we have changed our calendar pages for this year. They are going to flip to more of a bundle format, very similar to the things that I was talking about before. And they are going to involve add-ons. Now, the reason that they're going to involve add-ons is because in order for us to create layouts that are going to inspire you, we need flexibility to be able to do that. And the way we used to do our kits, we were very much kept in the parameters of a box. I'll use the box as my my guideline. So you can't really use things that are outside of the box. Everything had to be included in the kit, and exact instructions and photo had to be provided, etc. So we are going to provide a base bundle, which will have all the main components of the layout designs, and then there will be add-ons, and that is sort of the freedom of creativity part. And the reason we do that is so that we can keep up with the current trends in the layout design area. And I feel like we were falling behind in that area doing kits the way we were doing them before. So that being said, that's the whole idea behind the change to the calendar kits. So that is kind of where we're going with that. The bundles, like I said, will include things like designer papers, stickers, custom die cuts, things like that. And they will vary from month to month. They're not going to be the same all the time. We don't want all of our pages to look the same all of the time. We have a style. And I think, again, you come to us and you purchase from us because you like our style. So that won't change. But the things that we do with our style are going to vary a little bit. Add-ons will also vary, and they will also allow us to do different techniques within the pages where you will learn and grow as a crafter as well. Because really, my job, our job, is to inspire you. It is not to create your pages for you, okay? And so that's the big difference between the old way and the new way. And I know it's going to take some of you a little bit of time to adjust, but I hope that in the long run, it's going to make you a better crafter, a more confident crafter. And I feel like that is something that we do well. And I hope it will transfer over to you too. So not every detail and not every measurement and not every product is going to be included in your kit. You are going to have to be creative. As card makers and scrapbookers, that's really what this is all about. I know it comes very easily to some people and others struggle with it. And that's where we're going to step in and give you a really good baseline with lots of tips and tricks. And it will enable you to move forward. So Kira's saying, but will they be 2-page layouts or just single pages? The calendar series was designed as a calendar page that you would insert into a 12 by 12 calendar. Your layout would go on the top and the calendar grid would be on the bottom. So that's how it was originally designed. And then it kind of came to the point where customers that weren't even doing the calendar club or whatever you want to call it, they were just loving it because they were single page layouts they could use in their books. So then we sort of, launched it as a single page layout each month that would work for calendars, but could also work as layouts for your book. This is also flexible. It is a 2-page option, but not in the way that you think it is. This is part of the page, but it's kind of done. And like I said, I've had this in my head for a long time. It's kind of done to help you. You can use it to launch your month of scrapbooking. You can use it for a calendar design. You can use it, and this might be the only scrapbooking that you do all year, is just these pages, and that's it. So there's many different ways that you can approach it. Now, Kira, if you're looking for double page options, you're going to want to watch for these bundle options that we come out with periodically. You get the bundle, and then we follow it up with an inspiration session. Those will almost always be 2-page layouts, and we do plan on doing more of those. Like I said, it's been taking us a little while to kind of figure out how we want to approach this and how we want to go about it. So it's evolved, and so just keep an eye out for those options too. Okay, so let's get into this whole calendar thing. I'm going to share with you my finished layout. This is our launch party for the January page, okay? So each month we're going to have a launch party. And it is going to be, hopefully, always going to be the week after Click and Save. I'm trying to work ahead and know where we're at with things and all that sort of thing. Now, we do still have to fight back orders and shortages and things like that. So I will try my best to always be on top of it and have things available that first week, like right after Click and Save. We will do our launch party sometime that week. Products will be available. I know it's a party, right? Products will be available for you to order and purchase, but they're not going to be available for pickup or shipping until the following week on the Tuesday. Okay, so everything that I'm talking about today will be available online and ready for you to purchase, but don't come to the store tomorrow to pick it up. Okay, we need a little bit of time to implement a couple of things after we do the launch party. And so orders can begin shipping on Tuesday and pickups can happen on Tuesday next week. Make sense? Okay, so that's kind of the plan there. The launch party will also include me going through the details of the layout and showing you or demoing you with you any special techniques that I've done. I will give some quick cutting instructions. Nothing will be available in print. You'll have to go back and watch the video if you want the information for you to interact with me live and ask any questions that you might have. So that, and again, we're obviously going to launch the design. So that will happen each month, the week after Click and Save. So we've just finished with Click and Save. We got all the orders pulled, everything was shipped and ready to go. And now we're moving on to the next thing, which is going to be this. So this is going to be part of the layout. So I'm going to set that aside for now. And I'm going to bring on the design for you to see. And I will explain how it will work. I just got to make sure I get it all on camera here. Just let me get this adjusted. I have to wait for my iPad to catch up a little bit. Okay, so you will see there are two components to this layout. It's a 2-page layout. Okay, so for all you 2-page scrapbookers, it is a 2-page layout. The first page is the calendar grid. Okay, and that I will come back and talk about in a couple minutes. This is what we were sort of doing last year with the single page layouts. And, obviously January is supposed to be wintry, so we chose a winter collection and created a single page layout. Now you will notice elements on the page that would not normally be included in any one of our kits. So there's stenciling, and there's ink blending and like all that kind of stuff. I did do a little bit of stitching. Again, this was the first month, so I was just kind of getting the idea out in my head. I can tell you that it's definitely ramped up for February. I'm getting comfortable with my supplies. And I am excited to create throughout the year because I think it's going to be tons of fun. Now, Lynn has nailed it. So this is a decomposed planner. So we are going into our 5th year, my 5th year, our 4th year, I think. I don't know. I've lost track of our planner group. I really thought that thing was going to die this year, but it did not. We are still going strong with that. But we did lose a few of our diehards. And the planner is sort of a calendar-based way of scrapbooking, but really doesn't have much to do with a calendar per se. It is very photo-based. It is very scrapbooking-based. This is kind of a little bit of a spin-off of that, but not really. So anybody who left planner, or has never done planner, this is going to be a really fun concept. So what I do is I pick a main thing that happened in the month of January. Okay, so these are last year's photos for me because I have to be able to work ahead of you. I can't wait until January has happened and then create a page and have everything ready for the first week of February. It's impossible. So I'm using last year's photos. So last year we bought a snowmobile because we thought it would be fun to get outside in the winter and do something cool. Because some of the activities that we did were not available through COVID. So, and a little slow getting started. So we decided this would be something fun to do. So we bought a snowmobile. And so that was a big part of our winter last year. So I chose to scrapbook some photos from us snowmobiling. But then there were other things that happened throughout the month, and not necessarily tons, because January is a month that you tend to stay indoors a lot more. So you will see that I just have a smattering of photos on my calendar. And they may or may not have happened on this particular day of the month. Okay, for me, it's visual. It's just sort of like a vision board of my month just to show what happened. It kind of triggers bullet points in my mind and brings back memories of things that happened. So again, there's a few more snowmobiling photos on here. I did spend time with my grandkids a few different times, so we've got photos of that too. So that is my January snapshot. Okay. So if you are a person who was doing the calendar layouts before and you are wanting to put them on a calendar, a physical calendar, and either keep it for yourself or give it as a gift, the bundle will provide everything that you need to do that. And you will have this beautiful single page layout that you can go ahead and put on a calendar. Okay, so nothing really has changed for you. The only thing is there will be add-on items that won't be included in the kit that you may want to purchase if you want your layouts to turn out like ours do. Obviously, you are the creators, so you have full control over what you do and don't do. Okay, so you're going to hear me say this a lot. You do you, I'll do me. Okay, so if you don't want a stencil, don't stencil. If you want to use a different stencil, use a different stencil. If you want to use a different color ink, that's up to you. If you want to take the general concept and kind of twist it and turn it and make it your own thing, that's the whole idea. But I know there are a lot of people out there that really like what we do and they want to do what they see. So we're going to provide that information for you. Okay, so in the bundle this month, I have a bundle here. Let's just dissect this. Get this out of the way. Okay, so in the bundle, you get the 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and then you get a bunch of designer papers that we have used on the layouts to create the page that you see. Okay, and that goes for both pages. You'll see that it does not include that calendar. Yeah, don't go shopping yet, ladies. Wait till you hear my whole spiel. Shelby's saying the bundles are not up online yet. Yep, just everybody stay focused, and there'll be time for you to shop afterwards. So you'll notice that that calendar grid paper is not included in the bundle. That is an add-on because not everyone is going to want to do that calendar portion of the layout. I will be doing it every single month. And I think it's just something really cool. Like imagine in your scrapbook that as you're going through, if you're doing it chronologically, you get to January and there's January's kind of cover page. And then you move on to all the other layouts that you do for January, and then February comes along and there's your February layout. So it's kind of a fun concept. I really think it's very cool. So that is the papers that come in the bundle. You will also get a photo of the layout completed. Okay, so that comes in the bundle. And then all the bundles will have a label on them with a QR code that you can just take your phone and you go as if you were taking a picture. You hover over the QR code, a link will come up and it'll bring you right back to this launch party video. Okay, so you don't have to go searching. So let's say it's September and you still haven't done your January page. You don't have to go back and look through all of our videos to find the video that goes with this kit. Okay, so yes, the QR codes are awesome. And we're trying to put them on the products that we talk about in our lives. Like today I did a live this afternoon on that snowman stamp set. So when I get to the store tomorrow, if I remember, I try to print up the QR code and stick it on those. So anybody who buys it will have that QR code on there. So if they don't get around to using the stamp set, when they do pull it out and look at it, they can go, oh, I want to see what that video is about. And then everything is right there. So that's our premise behind that, which is one of the reasons that the kits are not ready right now. You can't, go to the store tomorrow and get it right away. So yes, Shelby's going to remind me. So QR codes are very, very handy. They contain lots of information, and literally you just take your phone, you open it up as if you were taking a picture, you hover over the QR code, the link comes up, you click it, and it takes you right to the video. And then you're going to hear me talking like this, which is awesome. Okay, so that's what your bundle includes. Okay, and the bundles are going to be in a special section on our online store, which when I get done all of this, I'm going to show you how it'll all look and where you will find things. And then all of the add-on elements that we're going to talk about right now are going to be in there too. Okay, now I know people love to shop, and so things sell out quickly. We are trying to gauge inventory quantities. We have no idea. This is a brand new thing, so we don't know. I can tell you we have lots of kits available. And then add-ons, again, depending on how popular they are, you guys are going to determine how many we have to order. And you have to speak up if you don't get what you're after. If you don't tell us, we don't order more. We think, okay, everybody's got it. Nobody's really asking. We're moving on. So if you don't tell us you want more, we don't order more. And we're ordering all the time. So you might have to wait a week or so, and then it should be back in stock. As long as the supplier has it available, then we can certainly do that. So, yeah. So anyway, so there's the bundle. So that's what's going to come in your bundle. Now, next up are the add-ons. And I'm going to pull over here. I brought some things home from the store so I could show you. So I'll point them out. Whoops. So as far as the layout goes, okay, the first add-on is going to be this calendar page. If you want to turn this into a 2-page layout to put in an album, then you are going to need to order one of these papers. And we have a humongous shipment coming in tomorrow. Because again, if every person that does this needs to order 12 of them over the months, we're going to need quite a few. So we've got a big shipment coming in tomorrow. There's some there now, but we will be adding to the inventory as well. So that's the first thing. Next up is the months across the top, this January. No, the add-ons are all a la carte because we don't know what people have and don't have. So the add-ons are all a la carte, and they're all in a special section, so you don't have to like run around trying to find everything. I'll get to that part in just a second. So the January is a die cut that we have decided we're going to cut out for you because it's going to be pretty streamlined as we go through the month. So there is an add-on for the January die cuts. If you would like to purchase those, they will be there. Okay, so that's add-on number 1. Actually, add-on number 2. Okay, so the other thing, I'll talk about the calendar page here. You will notice that I've actually dated my calendar as if it was an actual calendar. Okay, so this is the January month. Now, I don't date every square. It depends. If I have photos in some of them, then I don't bother putting the date on there. There's many, many options for for dating your calendar. You know, you can find lots of options, but the thing that I really, really loved was this set here from Simple Stories. It's from the Life Captured collection, and it does give you a full set of calendar numbers and this very cool shadow stamp that I use to coordinate with the colors that I'm using that month. So you'll see that little shadow. Here, I'll lift this up so you can kind of see. That little shadow ink spot, and then the number is on top of that. So that is what I will be using throughout my calendars. If you're part of the planner group, there's also a set from Lawn Fawn called Plan On It Calendar. And we have used that in the planner group for many, many times. You might have another number set you want to use. There's a set coming up in February that also has numbers in it that is going to be an add-on, so you could use something like that. I'm not going to share that with you yet. This one is very fun, and it does a great job with that. So if you're looking for something new or something different and you want to add this to your thing, this would be a one-time purchase at the beginning of the year, and then you could use it throughout the whole calendar month. So that is another thing that is an add-on. And then if we flip over to the layout here, and it's on both layouts, I have to get myself recentered again. Sorry, ladies. Okay, so this is the stencil that we used this month. It's by Tailored Expressions, and it's called Confetti Toss. And that is what is used on the layout, both sides, to do the stenciling. So if you want it to look like we have it, then I recommend purchasing the stencil. If you want to go through the stencils that you have, figure out something else, that's totally up to you. So that is the stencil that we used. And then I also embellished with Gina K's Clear Quartz Solid Sequins. Now I know we have some of these in stock right now, but I am picking up a shipment tomorrow, and there are a bunch more packages coming in. Any other kind of clear crystal will give you a similar look. If you've got things in your stash that you want to pull out once you get your bundle and match it up to the colors of the papers and things, you have those options too. So those are the add-ons that we have available for this month. The other thing that is going to be something that there will be a lot of talk around is the ink. So I used the Lawn Fawn Sage Leaf ink to do my stenciling. But there are other options. So if you are a scrapbooker only and have never done the card making thing and you don't own inks, this is something new and fun. You will be seeing a lot of it coming into the scrapbooking. I'm not going to lie, ladies, a lot of card making supplies are going to make their way into our scrapbook pages. There will be times where we use dies, and there'll be times when we use maybe even some critters and stamp sets. So those are things you're going to start to see. And again, we've designed the layout around those items, and you can make the decision whether or not you want to get the add-ons and create exactly like we have, or take the basic bundle and work in supplies that you already have, or change it up to suit the way that you like to craft. So this goes back to the premise that we are going to teach you to adapt and be creative based on our designs. Again, you can decide how good of a student you want to be, and whether or not you're on board with it, or if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. That's a choice that you have to make. But I am telling you that this is the way that the kits are going to be going moving forward, just simply because the trends in designs are changing, and we as a business need to change and evolve and pivot with those trends, and that's what we're going to be doing. So so back to the ink. I used the Lawn Fawn Sage Leaf, but I did make up a comparison chart of other ink colors that I thought would work well. Again, you're not restricted to this by any means, but I just thought it might be helpful, because I know we do have a lot of ink collectors in our group, and you might find that you have one of these colors and they might work. So this is the Sage Leaf that I use on my layout. And then this is the Tailored Expressions Mint Julep. So that's this color here. It's a little more green than the one that I used, but I think it still works just fine with the papers and the design of the layout. So, okay, so what are we talking about here? Off-topic question. Is there thought that the planner kit group will end with restarting this? That's not my plan. We've purchased and are planning to move forward with planner. I'll be honest, guys. The only people that determine whether we keep doing something or we don't do something is your response to it. If people start dropping out of the planner group after the first quarter, I can't run a group with 3 people in it. So that's really up to the planner people. The success of this is going to 100% be determined on your response to it. If the response is good and the demand is there, we keep moving forward. If it isn't, we change, we evolve, we pivot. That's exactly how we run our business. So anything and everything we do is based on response. And that's the only way I can put it. But my plan is to move forward with planner. We have over 50 people in that group. And that is more than enough to keep moving forward with planner. So planner is much more detailed and a more in-depth look at your month. So this is a very streamlined version of that. Allie, if people drop out of the planner group, I'll find you new people. It must continue. That's our plan. I don't have any plans to discontinue it at this point. So we're moving forward. Okay, so back to ink. And like Shelby said, we do so much pivoting and changing and evolving. It does make us dizzy. Like it really does. We have these meetings and we talk. And then, 3 weeks later, we're like, okay, you know what? I think we need to improve on this, or we need to change that, or we need to whatever. So it's always something. Okay. So, and Sarah's going to help Allie. Okay, perfect. All right, so mint julep, and then we have Gina K light spruce. So that's this one here, and that one I have stenciled out. So you can see they're all pretty similar in tone. And then Catherine Pooler, we've got the seafoam. And then Concord and Ninth Sea Glass is also a good option. Now, if you want to kind of get away from this minty kind of green, because this one here is a little bluer than these, but these work well. I did blend out the Distress Oxide Tumbled Glass. I think, again, it's a little brighter, but I still think it would work. Definitely. And then also I pulled out the Weathered Wood in the Distress Oxide. I also think that would be a great one to work with too. It definitely has more of a blue tone to it. So those are just some options. I'm not going to give you every single ink color that we sell that will work with this kit. You as a crafter can take a look at what you're seeing on the screen now and say, okay, you know what? I'm thinking that I want to pull a green out. You go ahead and look through the ink colors that we have available online. And if you are concerned, you can email us and say, do you think this color would be a good option? We are happy to compare and make sure, because I know colors don't always look 100% on a screen. So we are happy to do that. We are not going to go through our entire ink library and pick out the perfect color for you. Again, that is part of the responsibility that I'm giving to you as a crafter to kind of make some of your own decisions. Do you want something in the blues? Do you want something in the greens? Do you want something in the mints? Do you want something in brown? Really, it's your choice. And then kind of you do a bit of the homework, decide what it is that you think you like. If you want confirmation and for us to just sort of compare that color for you, we're happy to do that. Not a problem at all. And I will try to give suggestions of comparable products when we do these launch parties so that you'll be able to see exactly where we're headed with it. So that is the ink colors. Now, I think what I want to do is just show you a couple of things as far as measurements go and placement. And then I do have some photo printing tips I want to talk about. And I'm also going to show you some stuff on our website so that you are clear about where to find things and how it will work. Okay, so in the kit, in the bundle, you will get the papers that you see shown on the layouts here. Like I said before, there is no instruction sheet. There's no download. There's no anything like that. You will get good at looking at a layout. This is something I'm going to teach you, give you an eye for. You'll be able to look at a layout and kind of estimate how big a strip will be. You don't need the exact measurement. Your page does not have to look exactly like mine. You're going to have it put together and work for you. Yep, it's the term eyeball it. People do not like the term, but you will get good at it. So if you look at this page here, it's a 12-inch page. We all know that. All of our paper is 12 inches wide. This section takes up half of that. Okay, so you're looking at about 6 inches. Then you can kind of break it down and say, okay, well, this piece here, I'm going to grab a ruler just because I'm going to give you some measurements as we go. So this piece here is, I would say, approximately 4-ish inches. And it is exactly 4 inches. Will you have a kit for the full year? Like you can buy the whole year at one time? Absolutely not, Tracy. I right now have January and February designed. I'm working on March. Layouts and papers and collections that we would use for the later months of the year have not even been released yet. So we try to work with very current product. So you're going to have to kind of purchase as you go. Now, let's say one of my months is just like the best design you've ever seen, and everybody else thinks so too. And we sell out completely, and we can't even get any more of that paper. You are going to have the skills to substitute something here and there to make it work. And Shelby is right. The price is going to fluctuate from bundle to bundle, depending on what we are offering each time. I mean, the bundle's obviously the best way to go because you get everything and you don't have to color match and, dork around with all that stuff. But again, you do you. So this strip here of this paper is 4 inches across and 12 inches long. And then we've got the snowflake here, and about 1 inch of it is showing. Okay, so if you want your paper to butt right up against this edge, you only cut a 1-inch strip. If you want to tuck it underneath a little bit, you cut a little bit more, and it's 12 inches long. I believe this one here, yep. So this tree paper is actually a border strip right from this cut apart sheet. So the width of it is already there. So super easy for that one. And then this piece here, this plaid, I'm just flipping through my paper here. That's also a strip right here. So you don't even have to measure that. So 4 inches, 1 inch and a bit if you want to tuck it underneath, and those are both border strips. So you don't even have to measure anything crazy there. And then this snowflake strip here for the topper, it is 2 inches tall by, and again, if I didn't even give you this measurement, you just have to measure this section on your calendar page and you will know exactly how long it is. But I will tell you, I think it's 10 inches. Yep. So 10 inches long. Okay. So 2 inches by 10 inches for the snowflake piece. And that is all the tricky measurements for the layout. These little squares down here, again, this whole layout over here might change slightly for you depending on how many photos you want to include on this side of the page. You might want to fill in every square. Maybe you're a person who takes a lot of photos and you have them for every day of the month and you want to fill in every square. That's totally fine. I don't take that many meaningful photos throughout the month. There are definitely photos that I want to include. Like my daughter Amanda's constantly sending me pictures of my grandkids. And so, I pop the ones in that I love, or if I'm doing something with them, or, my husband and I do something fun or whatever, we go on a trip, like whatever happens to take place. You have the flexibility on this side of the page to add as many photos as you want. And that's going to change for everybody. So you might not have all 3 of these clusters, or you might have all 3, but they might be in a different spot. You might put the clusters where mine are and then just work your photos in however you decide to do it. Yep, Shelby, she said she could have 30 pictures of her cat or what we had for dinner. We do that a lot too, sending pictures of what we had for dinner. So there's lots of options for this side of the page, but whatever you put in these squares, all you have to do is measure the square. Okay, and then just take a little bit off, and that's the size that you're going to insert in there. I like when the black line of the square actually shows. So I'll just come up a little closer. Hopefully you can see. But like my photo is inside the square. Okay, so it's framed by that black line. And same thing with the papers that I put on the bottom. They are also framed inside that square. So I don't cut it so they come right up to the line. I leave like a little bit of space so that that is tucked in there. So you have the measurements for your calendar grid. You can do that however you like. So the stenciling is really fun, and I think it really kicks up the page a notch and gives it a lot more interest. So I am going to do a little demo on how I did these little clusters. Just because it might be new to some people, and it's really easy to do. I'm just going to set this aside. So all we're going to do, I'm just going to take this blank piece of paper here. It's just a scrap that I have sitting here. It's not even like scrapbook paper, it's printer paper. And I'm just going to grab, where's my sage leaf ink and my blender brush. Okay, I'm going to grab my ink stand too because I don't want to be chasing my ink pad around. Okay, does anybody have any questions so far? Just while I'm getting myself organized here. I'm trying to watch comments. Oh yeah, so Val said about birthdays. So if you've got like certain days of a month that are a birthday, you can put something special on those squares that indicate that it is a birthday, or maybe put a picture of the person whose birthday it was. You can do all kinds of things to personalize it for sure. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to do a soft ink blending just in the area that I want to do the cluster. Okay, so just as a background. So you just take your blender brush and you just ink blend. I need a little piece. So when I put my brush in the ink, I like to just sort of dab it off on a paper towel first, just to get that heavy ink right off so you don't end up with a big blotch. Go in lightly and just start going in a circular motion. And you can cover as much of an area as you want. Now this is a pretty light color when it first goes on. So I'm a person when I'm inking who likes to build up the ink rather than try to get it all on in the first layer. Okay, so once I kind of get that area that where the ink is starting to build up, then I'm going to take my stencil, which is right here, and I'm going to place it over top of there. And this stencil is kind of a gradient stencil where it's heavy with the snowflakes at the top, and then they kind of fade out as they fall down. So I want to pick an area where it's kind of heavy, and then I'm going to go in with my ink direct to paper, and I'm going to go in a little heavier and really fill in those snowflakes, and it's over top of that lightly blended background area. Okay, so there you can see how you get that same sort of technique on the page. Okay, so I see a question. Sharon, might have missed something, but is the page always going to be white that we work on? Okay, so this page will always be white. The background, it's a, where did I put mine? It's right somewhere, right here. So this is what that looks like, and it will never change. It's going to always be this color. Okay, so I will try to pick things that will coordinate with that each month. The papers and things that we work with for this side of the page, that will change all the time. But it'll always coordinate. I'll pull everything over so that it coordinates well with that calendar design as part of the first page. So you don't have to stress about it coordinating. But yes, we will always be working with that white calendar grid each month. It's always going to be white. So that is how I created the stenciled background area right here. Okay, and then I just layered my stickers on. And some of them are flat and some of them are popped up. So you can decide which ones you want to stand out and which ones you want to be flat against the page. You can see that my sweater overlaps this, so you can't pop the skis up and have the sweater flat because that's just not going to work. So the skis would be flat and the sweater would pop up. And again, same thing on this one. It's usually designs that are at the front that are going to pop up more. But I don't want any emails or questions saying, can you please tell me which sticker is popped up? I'm not telling you. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. I just feel that if you are going to scrapbook and you are going to create layouts, you should be able to make the decision on what is going to pop up. And I certainly do not mean that in an insulting way. I do not. But there are personalities out there, and I respect them 100%. I respect them as much as I respect the people that that are very free with their designs. There are personality types, and some people really need to know if something is popped up. But you, as a crafter, are going to have to make that choice for yourself. Okay, so you may want to pop the January letters up, and mine might be flat. Mine might be popped up, and you might want yours flat. I did do one row of stitching just along these banner strips here. And all of these banners are from this cut apart piece here. I think that's where they all came from. Yes. And so all of these, and I did do one line of stitching along the edge there. And I know stitching isn't for everybody, so you can choose to leave that off if you want to. You can add more stitching onto your page in other areas if you'd like. But that is where I added it. Now, as far as the stenciling on this side goes, I actually had these papers all down, not the photos and stuff, but all of these papers. And then I went in on this side of the page and I used that same stencil, which I've lost again. Oh, here it is. And I sort of knew I was going to be putting my title up in this area. So I made sure that I did the heaviest of the stenciling part of the stencil in that area. And then I went back and I added in individual areas of snowflakes above it so that it didn't have like a harsh line across there. And then again, I just took different areas of the stencil and just kind of made those snowflakes filter down. The stitching template, yeah, well, I don't even know if it's not even on their website anymore. So stitching templates are not easy to find. So I keep looking, but it's been taken down, so I'm not really sure. It used to say out of stock, but now it doesn't even exist. So I'm thinking that it's gone. But I do keep my eye out on it because it's definitely something that people ask for, but it's just not something that people make anymore. I don't know. Maybe I should invent one. I don't know. So yeah, so that's how I went about that. And then I did do a little bit of splattering. Now, what I did with my splattering, I'm not happy about it on this layout. I used ink, diluted ink to splatter, and it kind of bled out, and I didn't really like it. I mean, I don't hate it, but in February, I'm going to be using paint, acrylic paint. So we will have some of that coming in so that you can use it too if you want. But yeah, I didn't have a lot of success with the ink. I didn't like how it bled onto the page. So try something and do it on a scrap first if you want to try the splattering. But yeah, so that is the January kit. Now, I'm looking at my notes here to make sure that I've got all of the regular stuff covered. Does anybody have any questions so far? Yes, that's a good point. Those rulers, and I do have one of those right here. So this is the ruler she's talking about. And right along here, there are holes, but I want to see if the piercing tool will go through it. Where is mine? So if you have the Tim Holtz piercing tool, it does go through enough that you could totally use that as a piercing mat. So that'll give you stitches. Those are a little closer. They're about 1/8 of an inch apart. I would skip a hole and go every quarter, but you can certainly make it work. Yes. So this is the 0 centering rule from Tim Holtz. So that does have piercing holes in it, and 1/8 would look nice. It would look more like machine stitching, which is kind of cool. But there's that. Okay. So now I do want to talk about our website and where you can find stuff. And then I also want to talk about the app that I use to collage photos, because to get these photos this small, if you order 2x2 photos through our website, you're going to be cutting a lot of stuff off of your photo. So if that's your only option, you want to make sure that you choose photos that you have not zoomed in very close on, because you're going to need to be able to cut off the sides in order to get them to fit in here. I will say these squares, they're not square, they're actually rectangles, are more vertical than they are horizontal. So you don't always have to choose horizontal photos, but just be mindful of that. I'm going to bring my iPad over and then I won't be able to see your comments for a minute, but I've just got a few things bookmarked here. So let's talk about the website first. So if you go to our website and you're on the home page, I just want to make sure you can actually see this. Okay, yep. So you're on our homepage, just click the online store button. And then right here, you will see an icon, and it may move a little bit on the homepage, but you will see this icon that says 2023 calendar series. So you're going to want to click that. And then eventually there will be more than just this tab in here. We'll have one for February, one for March, one for April, and so on as we go through the year. You'll click that, and everything that you need for the January page, except the January page, is in here right now. So all of the add-ons that we talked about are all here. Okay, so we have the January letters. Oops, didn't mean to click that, sorry. The January letters, there's the calendar paper. There's the stamp set I talked about, the stencil that I used, the ink that I used, and then it also comes in mini cubes, but Lawn Fawn sells their mini cubes in packs of 4, so there are other colors in there. I also have the other ink pads that I suggested. White floss if you want to do the stitching. And then there are the Gina K crystals that I used, but we've put in a couple others that will work well with the layout as well. Now, when the video is done here, we're going to upload the bundle, and that will show in this section as well. And then you can go ahead and order. Now, remember, if you order and you are shipping, we will not be shipping until Tuesday next week. Because I need to get these QR code things printed out for the bundles, and it'll give you time to shop for your add-ons and any other things that you want to get before you ship your box out. You can add it to an existing box that you already have started. That's not a problem. If you are shopping and picking up in person, please don't come tomorrow because it won't be ready. And don't come Friday because we're only open for pickups, but your order won't be ready yet. Please wait until Tuesday next week, and then you can pick it up then. So that is where you'll find that. Now let's talk about photos. So I'm going to go to my photos. Now I don't normally do this on my iPad, so I'm not quite as good about it as I am on my phone. But I don't know if you know this. I just discovered this. But under photos, if you go to recent, oh, it's not going to show me now. I want to go to albums. Where do I do that? I had it all set up. Oh, library. Here we go. Okay, so at the top, and this, you can search your photos, all of them by day, by month, or by year. So me, I'm working for last year's photos. So I don't want to scroll through everything and try to figure out where my photos are. I'm not organized enough to have everything in albums. But I can click the months button, and now I can scroll back until I get to January. Where am I? 2022. I can click that, and now I have a whole bunch of photos. Now what you can do with your photos as you're going through them is you can make them a favorite. And you just click the photo, and then there's a heart that makes it a favorite. Then, if you go back to your photos, and somewhere, oh, here's the tab. It says favorites. Only the ones that you have made your favorite are in this section. So that makes it really easy to sort of narrow down the photos that you might want to use. And then when you're done, you just unfavorite them and they just go back to where they were. So I use this favorite category a lot because I find that it helps me sort of put the photos that I want to use in one section without having to make an album and like do all that stuff. So this just makes it super easy for me. Now, once you have everything in your favorites, I use an app called PicFrame. I gotta turn my computer here. So PicFrame, I just have to make sure I'm still on screen. I am? Okay, good. PicFrame is a free program, I think. And it does allow you to collage photos, which is really important. So what you want to do is to make a 4x6 print, you want to get an orientation that gives you 9 photos vertically. And then when you get this developed or printed out, you're very close to the size that you need for this page. You have to trim just a little bit off to get them to fit inside the lines, but they're scaled down enough. Once you insert your photos in here, you can actually zoom in and out on the picture and center it, like move it around within the square to get it to the spot that you want. And then you can go ahead and save it to your camera roll. You just click this button here to save it. And then it's saved to your camera roll. So then you can then send it somewhere to be developed. So you can use our printing service. So you would get all 9 photos on one 4x6 print. So that is how I do the pictures. I'm just going to get back to my Facebook view here so I can see if you've said anything exciting. Okay. I have no idea if it's Apple. That's all I have. So again, as a crafter, you're going to have to figure out something for yourself if you need something like that. I don't know. I don't know any other products. The store is open for shopping tomorrow, yes. Not for this specifically, but in general, yes. We're open 10 to 5. Thank you. This is on Apple. Yes, this is on Apple. I have an iPhone and an iPad. I don't know if it is available for Android phones. I'm sure there's something similar that you could use, but you need something that you can collage your photos. You want 9 pictures on a vertical orientation, and that will get you this this sort of size. And then the rest you can kind of play around with depending on which photos you have. You might want to arrange your photos in this area a little bit differently than mine. So you will, you can kind of play around with that part of it. The kit, this month's kit is $14.99. So, and like I said, that's going to vary each month depending on what is included. The benefits of the kit is that you get all of the papers that we're using, any sticker sheet we're using, if we use page pieces, custom die cuts, that kind of thing, like to create the layout, that will all be included in the bundle. You get the photo of the layout and you get the QR code label that will be on your package so that you are able to come right back to this video at any time and see it. So I hope you enjoy it. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I will be doing the calendar series myself. Amanda's going to be designing planners still, and she's going to be working on some of those bundle layouts and obviously cards and different things too. So, like I said, I've already got February done. I'm very, very excited about it. I know the girls thought January was amazing, but they said February was even better. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to change. It's going to evolve as we go through the year, just like everything else does. As they release new products, we see new techniques. We see new things we want to play with and try. So it's super fun. And like I said, so let's say you traveled somewhere warm and tropical in January. Do not think for 1 minute that you cannot use this layout. I have done planner for many years, and I have many, many Januaries and Februaries where I have traveled places that do not have snow. January here has snow. We have winter. So the backdrop for everything is winter, but you can totally put whatever you do during the month of January on this page and have it be totally okay. Last January, I didn't go anywhere except for on this snowmobile. So I don't have anything warm and fun to put on here. But if I was in a normal situation and going to trade shows and visiting fun, exciting places, you can be sure, no matter that there are snowflakes on here, if I did it in January, it's going to be on this page. So also, don't get hung up if your colors don't match. I did not pick this paper to go with these photos. I absolutely did not. I actually almost printed these photos in black and white because I thought the blue in here didn't really work with the blue on the page. And then I thought to myself, do you know what? I live my life in color. That's the way it's going to be. So you might find an orange snowsuit on a blue background, and that's just the way it's going to be. That is me. If you can't possibly do something like that, you can make adjustments based on what you like and make it your own page. But yes, so February is going to be a fun month. And like I said, that launch party will come that first week right after the Click and Save weekend chaos is over, and then we will launch the February one. And I'm already working on March, and I have plans for April, May, June, July, August, and September, like all the way through, because I just think it's going to be such a fun concept. So anyways, I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be super fun. The bundles will go up online now, so go to that section on our online store. You can see all of the things and get your stuff ordered. So that is it for lives for me today. I'm done. You won't see me again today. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.